Hey, what's up everybody? It's March 26, 2019. You know what that means? It's time for this week's TNT Tuesday. All right, so I've had some people reaching out saying, hey, yeah, so we've kind of figured out what the tom, it's kind of cool. We can take a cam and we can take the cam and we can offset it where it's not directly underneath the follow rod, and we can have this making contact with this follower. And what's cool is that when we spin the crank handle, we can find that that's actually going to be turning like a bevel gear, all right, and it's going to be transmitting that that rotational motion up to the follower rod, and then whatever's on top of it's going to be spinning. So some people have been saying, hey, how do we go out there and do the transitional constraint and then have the follower rod actually to be rotating on top? Well, I've figured that one out. That's not a problem, but it's not going to be exactly the way it is in real life, and I don't have an answer as of right now how to make it work, but I can show you what I do know for right now. So that's what we're going to be investigating today. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'd like to just tell you is that in order to get this to work, all right, let's just take a look at the actual follower that I have. So it's not going to be a flat disc on the bottom. I've actually put some sort of revolve here, so it's going to be sort of a bubble. I found that is actually what is going to be working pretty well for this. Let's just take a look at what I have going on. I have my topper. I'm going with the Caddyshack theme on this one. I have the gopher on top. That has been constrained to a work plane going down through the follower rod. And then we can see that the actual follower has been constrained. So everything is working as one unit. So that's kind of where we're at. It's going to be the same thing on both sides. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, the cam actually has to still align with the dead center point, okay, of this follow rod. So in order to make this work, I'm going to come out here, and I know that the distance of that is going to be a mate from here to here, and I'm going to go ahead and do an offset distance of 1, and I'm going to go ahead and just kick that back over, and if we look at it from this side, we can see that that is totally in line, okay, with the center of the follow rod. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to go out here and say I want to do a flush between this face and this side, and I'm going to go ahead and do an offset distance of 1, which would be negative, and I'm going to kick that back over, and I'm going to look at this side, and you can see that is directly below it. All right, so we can see that my cams have now been fully constrained to the axle. So in order to make this work, here's what we're going to have to do. Is I'm going to come up here to constrain. I'm going to go to transitional. I have found working from the top down kind of works. So I'm going to pick the bottom of my follower, and I'm going to pick the surface of this cam. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply, and then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to come up here and use transitional from that face and make that work with that cam. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply, and now if I go out here and spin my handle, okay, I can see that that is actually going to be working with my transitional, just like so. All right, so that's working for me. All right, so what we're going to be doing next is we're going to come out here now and put a rotational constraint on this. So what I'm going to do is come up here to constrain. I'm going to come up here, pick on the motion. All right, and now I can see I have two different solutions. Okay, both of our items will be spinning in the same direction. That's solution 1. Okay, or we could have opposing directions, and this is actually how it would work. Just think once again like bevel gears. So what I'm going to do is pick the second solution. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to just pick on this face, okay, of my follower, and then I'm going to come over here to my cam, and I'm going to pick on this face. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. So now when I go out here to spin this, you're going to see how it is going to be spinning, okay, as I am rotating the crank handle. So not only is my gopher going to be going up and down, okay, it is also going to be doing the rotation. In order to do the same thing on the other side, we're going to follow the same sort of format. All right, but let's just say that in this case, maybe it was offset in the other direction. All right, so I could come out here and go to motion constraint, and I could say I want this one and this one. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply, and then let's just go ahead and see what happens on that one. So they should be opposing, okay, with the rotation, okay, just like so. So we have applied both a rotation to it as well as a transitional constraint. All right, so unfortunately it's not how it really works in real life, okay, because our cams are not offset, but I just simply have not found a solution for it. I know that this will work. All right, so if your kids are needing to know you know, something for an IDW, they're going to have to go out there and make sure that they have their holes drilled where they need to be, or simply the cams offset from the sides where they need to be. So there you go. That's it for this week's TNT Tuesday. Have a great week.